All right, so we know that. Now, revenue tax, real quick. All this military buildup is happening. We've passed initiatives, they became public laws for construction tax, all kinds of taxes. Now, are you collecting tax on developers tax at all with the military, Mr. Alvarez, Director?
I don't believe the military projects fall under developer tax. I would probably have to confirm that with legal.
Okay,
but-
can you,
Yeah.
go ahead. You can
But
finish.
just off the top of my head,
Okay.
I don't believe it falls under developer tax.
All right, so maybe what you can do is check also with Commerce, because we see, and I'm pretty sure someone in the military, I hope to God somebody's watching, we noticed that with a lot of their activities, the military is using outside developers to bring in these people and develop this, whatever it is. What we need to do is track how many developers from the military are being brought in, because we don't have the workforce or whatever it is, but we're losing money in that area. So many projects came and left, and we're only charging on the construction tax. Again, which is another problem, because now we know that they're bringing in their construction material. Right?
Yes.
So we need more presence where the military is, and maybe more presence down in Tinian. We're not sure how that works. We don't want to disrespect the municipality. But at some point, revenue tax is revenue tax, CNMI wide. Doesn't
that's
matter
correct.
what municipality you're at. But we need to follow this because we're having some problems. And when I was there just for funds identification, and I was at a CJMT meeting, the projected amount that was already in the CNMI was $153 million in activity. Money put in fees and taxes alone was a mere 87,000. That's a problem. Why are we not collecting? What is the problem? We probably know it, but for Secretary of Finance and under Revenue Tax, Mr. Alvarez, I ask that we dig deeper into that just a little bit more and really figure out what the problems are. Because if we can address that problem and come up with legislation that covers these loopholes, then I think we could see some increases.
Could I add to that?
Sure.
Rep. Flores, this is a conversation that has been going on between the municipality of Tinian and my office and DPW on who's going to assess the tax. We've received information from DPW. I believe they've asked for an AG's opinion on whether they can assess the tax. And to this day, I don't believe they're assessing it because there is no legal authority to assess the developer's tax on the military projects. And so at this point, I believe it's legislation that's required to specify what exactly is exempted from the developer's tax, whether it's a military project with an independent contractor or only military projects that are conducted by the military themselves. So again, it goes back to the legislation and the authority for DPW to assess the developer's tax.
All right, because Title 70 on Department of Finance, Subchapter 70-40.3, Developers Tax Regulations, you have no autonomy to amend any of this?
Again, it's not just the regulation, but it's the tax itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe, and you've been working with them, maybe what you can do also is write a letter to the chairman or somebody in this committee seeking, some legislation or statute to be proposed for that purpose, so that we can either update this and include future taxes, because it has examples from 1993. That's obsolete business, and how people operate are very different compared to this regulation that you have here. All right, I guess I don't want to get cut off, so I'm just going to cut myself off right now. Thank you, Chairman. I yield my time.
Thank you, Representative Marissa Flores. But just a follow-up, Madam Secretary, on the question of Rep. Marissa Flores with regards to developers tax. You mentioned that you guys reached out to the Attorney General's office.
DPW.
DPW did? For your understanding, is there any correspondence in legal opinion from the Attorney General's office?
Not to my knowledge, not to me. It would be directly to the agency. So,
Okay, so maybe we'll make a follow-up on DPW when we have them for budgetary